guys, it's Kelly and today we are continuing my series of favorite nail polish colors. If you guys have missed any of it, I will put a playlist up here. Basically, I am going through and doing a video of each of my favorite nail polish colors. I'm going to have an all-encompassing playlist of all of my favorite polishes in the world. And today we are continuing with a very highly anticipated video, and that is my favorite green nail polishes. So if you guys have watched my channel, you probably know that I absolutely love green nail polish, probably my second favorite color to wear behind purple, and I have a ton of favorite green nail polishes. So we have a lot to get through today. I anticipate this is going to be a very long video. So we actually have 26 polishes in my favorite greens list. I honestly couldn't narrow it down anymore. I feel like there aren't enough green nail polishes in the world, but the ones that I have, I absolutely cherish. So a couple of things to know about my favorite greens personally. One is I'm not really a person who likes spring and summer greens. I do have a few favorites in here that are like neons and bright colors, but my overall preference for greens is definitely like fall winter shades. I really like the dark ones. I really like the olive tones, like the forest green tones. Those are my favorite greens. And then the other thing about my favorites is, surprisingly, I don't love creams as much as I love shimmers and glitters and those types of things. I usually prefer cream finishes in the majority of polishes, though with greens I always think they're a little bit more interesting when they have something to it. So you'll see that the majority are shimmery, exciting, fun colors. So I'm going to start off with all of my favorite like neons and neon pastels, which is 4 of them. Then we're going to move on to the creams, and then we're going to move on to, in my opinion, the most exciting ones, which are the shimmers, the mattes, the velvets, those types of things. So yeah, let's just get started with my 26 favorite green nail polishes. So starting off with the neons in my collection, this is Picture Polish Fresh. This is a light warm-toned lime neon green. It also has like very subtle holographic flecks in it, but I do find that those are really hard to show up unless you're in direct sunlight. I did film all of these in direct light, but I still think that these are too subtle to show up in anything besides like bright sunlight. So this one actually takes 3 coats, but I do think it's worth mentioning it even though I don't love 3 coaters. This one is just so bright. I think it's so summery, it's so fun. I've done a couple of gradients with this and I find it has a really good formula. I do love picture polish, so like I said, I really just thought this was worth mentioning. I think it's such a pretty and fun summer color. So next up for the favorites, we have another neon. This is China Glaze Lime After Lime. This is actually a pastel neon and it's a cool toned neon green cream. So I love the China Glaze pastel neons. I think they did an amazing job with those colors. I didn't think the formula was amazing on most of them. This one was actually an amazing formula though. I said amazing like 5 times, but you guys get the point. So this one is opaque in 2 coats. I think it's the perfect summer shade. I think it makes me look so tan. I love it. I love that it has that cool undertone to it. I think it is such a pretty and unique shade, and it's really hard to find a pastel neon green. I feel like not enough people want to wear green, so they just don't make enough, and that's just one of the reasons why I cherish this color. Next up we have yet another neon. This is Cirque Colors Kushy, and this is by far the most neon nail polish that I own, like out of any color. I think this one is absolutely crazy. My camera absolutely doesn't do it justice, but you can just imagine this one honestly hurts the eyes to look at. It looks like hazardous waste. It has an amazing formula. It's opaque in 2 coats. You don't need a white base coat for it, and it manages to be so bright and loud on my nails. This was part of one of their Vice releases. I don't think it's available currently, but they do occasionally re-release it, so definitely keep an eye out if you're interested in this one. One of my favorite neon nail polishes of all time. And next up we have the last neon. I don't know if I would actually classify this as a neon, but whenever my camera has a hard time picking up a color, I just pretty much think it's a neon. This is Cirque Colors in Cyber, and this was another Vice collection release. So this is another one that is currently not available, but they do occasionally re-release those Vice shades, so keep an eye out for it. This is a dark, almost neon green, and this is another one that only takes 2 coats for full opacity. You don't need a white base for it. I think these 2 colors actually look really nice together, and I would love to gradient them sometime. I just think Cirque has an amazing formula. They do a really good job with neon, so if you're interested in neons in general, I would highly recommend checking out their Vice releases. They do a Vice series every summer, and they either re-release old shades or they come out with new shades, and they're always super bright, fun neons, so I always cherish those. I feel like I said cherish a lot already. Okay, so moving on to just the regular cream shades. This is Sally Hansen Green Apple from their Jelly Belly line. I loved the Jelly Belly line. I thought they all had such amazing formulas. This one in particular is a bright green cream. It has these blue undertones, so I think it makes it super unique and interesting, and it's also slightly dusty, which I absolutely love. And this one has such a good formula. This is a 1 coater on me. If you have long nails, you might need a second, but I feel like this color is just so opaque that you probably don't. Sally Hansen also has that super wide flat brush, so if like me you prefer wide flat brushes, you're absolutely gonna love this. Unfortunately, the Jelly Belly collection, as I am aware, is not available. I think Jelly Belly might actually still be selling them, so if they are, I'll put the website down below. But yeah, if you see these anywhere, absolutely pick them up. They are coveted nail polishes. People love them, and for good reason. They're really good formulas. Next up, we have OPI Envy the Adventure. This one is actually relatively new to my collection. It was part of their 2018 holiday line. This is a super rich evergreen cream that has like a very warm undertone to it. I think it's actually, it doesn't look like it's that unique of a shade, but this is the only green cream that I have that is like this. I think it's so interesting. I love that it has that almost yellow undertone to it, and I think it just makes it a really rich color. I think it's perfect for the holidays. I think it's like a, I don't want to say primary green because green is not a primary color, but it's like solid green cream. Like this is a basic green, and I think it's good for everybody to have a color like this in their collection, and OPI is just an amazing formula, so why not pick this one? Next up we have KIARA Sky Call It Cliche. This is like a dusty sage green that has a little bit of a warm undertone to it. KIARA Sky is one of those brands that I really don't talk about on my channel, but I really love their colors, and the reason that I don't really talk about them is I feel like they're not especially unique. I don't have a lot of colors from them, and I don't have a lot that I could not dupe. I think they're not especially original, but I do happen to love this shade, and I always think their formula is really good. I always find myself reaching for it if I just want like a nice basic color, and I think this is a nice basic cream to have. It does have a thin formula, but I do get full opacity in 2 coats. If you do have longer nails, you might need a third, but I also find that KIARA Sky lasts a really long time on me, which is another reason why I like to wear it often. Next up we have Ice Cream Nails Jungle Juice, and this is actually pretty similar to the KIARA Sky shade. It is just a light sage green cream shade, and this one might be a little bit warmer, but I wanted to mention this as well because I absolutely love ice cream nails. This one is a 2-coater for me, and it has an absolutely amazing formula. I feel like the thing that always impresses me about ice cream nails is it comes in such a little novelty bottle, like it's this little ice cream cone shaped nail polish bottle, and it always just blows my mind that a polish that comes in this type of bottle is a really good formula, because I feel like this is the type of bottle that you pick up just thinking it's gonna look cute but not actually work really well, and they have amazing formulas. They're mostly known, in my opinion, for having like bright fun neon shades, but I do think their other colors are definitely worth looking into, and this is one of my favorites for fall. Next up we have another OPI. This is OPI Things I've Seen in ABER-GREEN. This one is very new to me. This was part of their fall winter 2019 collection, so I literally just reviewed it, but I already knew that this was going to be an absolute favorite of mine. It absolutely looks gray when you compare it to the rest of the greens that I'm sharing with you today, but if you guys look at my regular just OPI Scotland collection video, you'll see that this is totally a green hued nail polish. It's basically just like a grayed out super dark green cream, and I do get full opacity for this in 2 coats. I just love dark shades like this that almost look black, but when you see them on the nail you can tell that they're actually not a black shade. You can see the colorful undertones that are in it, and I just love this subtle green color. So if you're the type of person who loves wearing dark vampy colors but you're not a huge fan of green, then you might want to start with this because I think it's a nice subtle green to start with. Next up we have a CUCCIO color in Branch Out, and this is an olive green cream that has super yellow undertones to it. This one I don't know if I've even shown you guys my CUCCIO review for fall 2019. If I have, you'll have seen it. If not, this is a brand new polish to me, but I fell in love with it absolutely immediately because it's an olive green cream and I love green nail polishes, and CUCCIO also has an amazing formula. This one was a 2-coater for me. I know a lot of people are gonna say that this is an ugly shade, and honestly it like really bothers me when people say a color that especially if I'm wearing it, if someone's like, oh my god, that looks like poop, I'm like, alright, thanks, like what am I supposed to do now? But yeah, like despite all of that, I absolutely love this shade and I know I'm going to be wearing it a lot, so I absolutely wanted to include it. I think it's so beautiful. I think it's so unique and interesting. You don't really see colors like this, especially on people's nails, so I'm going to treasure this one too. And the last of the creams, we have Picture Polish Avocado. This is just an avocado green cream shade. It's super warm. It's got those yellow undertones. It's a really pretty shade. This is another one that's new to me. It came out in the last couple of months. The collection that it came with, I absolutely loved. I thought it was perfect for fall, and I think this color is no exception. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's an amazing formula. It's a 2-coater, and I just love the picture polish formula in general. I think they do really amazing creams, and yeah, I just couldn't resist an avocado named nail polish because I love avocado. Alright, so moving on, we are done with the creams, and now we're on to the exciting glitters and shimmers and crazy nail polishes. So this is another picture polish shade. This one's called Cactus. This is another sage green cream shade, but this one is packed with little holographic flecks. So this is another one that's just absolutely perfect for fall. A lot of times when I wear green nail polishes, I always just think fall, so that's pretty much how I feel about this one, but you can honestly wear it anytime. I think it's another perfect formula, 2 coats for full coverage, and I just love that holographic sparkle. It really adds another element to it. So if I'm ever feeling super sparkly, I always go for this one. Next up, we have a very controversial shade. This is China Glaze, but of course. This is a shade that I actually mentioned in my favorite ugly nail polishes video, and I'll link that up here if you guys are interested, but I thought this one was worth mentioning again. I know I have a couple of other greenish shades in there, but this is the only one that I felt like I absolutely had to mention again because this is one of my favorite nail polishes of all time. This is a green shimmery nail polish that has black matte glitters in it, and it dries to a bumpy textured finish. This is obviously a Halloween nail polish. It is part of the China Glaze Halloween collection from, oh man, years ago. Something about this one just captured my heart. I think it's so cool. I think it's so interesting. Somebody in the comments of my favorite ugly nail polish video said it kind of reminds them of kiwi, and I love that description because it does. It looks like little kiwi seeds. So I think this is just another really exciting one. This is one of the first textured nail polishes I ever owned also, so it kind of has sentimental value to me as well. This bottle I always have to add thinner to because it's so old and it's just evaporating quickly. I probably need to add a little bit more thinner to it, but whatever. Next up, we have the shade Grinchworthy, also from China Glaze. This is an absolutely stunning bright green full coverage glitter. So it has like a ton of different variations of green glitter in it. There's some like of this goldish green, there's some lime green, and there's a little bit of darker green in there as well. I think the whole Grinch collection from China Glaze was absolutely amazing, but this was my absolute favorite in it. I actually wore this for Christmas last year because I love it so much. So it's another one that's 2 coats for full coverage, but if you have long nails, you might need a third, and it does dry glossy, so you'll need to add top coat anyway, but it doesn't have like a rough bumpy finish. But speaking of rough bumpy finishes, this is Zoya CECE, which is basically the pixie dust version of Grinchworthy. So it's actually a little bit lighter and brighter. This is just a textured glitter nail polish that again has that like variation of different green glitters in it. The only difference is, besides that this one's a little bit more yellow toned, is that this one actually dries to a textured light sandpaper sort of finish. So for this one, I don't wear top coat. For the Grinchworthy one, I do wear top coat because I do love this textured finish. This is part of the newer pixie dust line from Zoya. It's not one of their original pixie dust, so I don't love the formula as much, but I do think it's absolutely amazing. I think this color is so pretty. It's a little bit thin, but I can get full coverage with 2 thicker coats. You might just want to throw on 3 just to have it, but the thing I love about textured nail polishes is they tend to last on me a really long time, so I really love this one, and also it's gorgeous. Next up, we have another Zoya shade. This is Zoya Tabitha, and this is called almost like a dark evergreen shimmer, and the shimmer in it is like pearlized silver, so it's like a streaky type of finish, but I absolutely love it. I think it's so like vampy and dark and fall and just perfect. For me, this is a 2-coater. It's a little bit thin on the first coat, but I do get full coverage on the second. If you're a little bit sloppy with painting streaky nail polishes like this, sometimes what I do is I'll just add a 3rd coat just to like smooth out my lines and just like have like a nice brush stroke line. So yeah, just another absolutely stunning color, perfect for fall winter. Next up, we have China Glaze Life's Grimm. This is actually what I'm wearing right now, and to a lot of you guys, I have a feeling that this is not going to be considered a green, but for me, I always keep it with my green polishes, and it does have a really intense green shimmer in it, so I'm just gonna count it. This is actually like almost like a grayed out base that has a really intense green and gold shimmer in it. This was one of their Halloween polishes, I believe, from a few years back, and I think it's just so interesting and unique. When I wear it, I cannot stop looking at it, especially in direct sunlight. I think it is so cool and interesting, and I don't know, it's just like the perfect fall shade. I don't think this is just a Halloween shade. I think it's perfect for like all of fall and probably even winter. For me, this is a 2-coater. Alright, so moving on to matte velvet shades. I actually have 3 favorites, and we're gonna go in order of how I got them because I don't know, that's just the order that I picked. This first one is Zoya Veruschka? I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, but this was my first matte velvet nail nail polish. If you guys aren't familiar with matte velvet, it's like a shimmer polish that dries down to a matte finish, so it kind of gives like the appearance of having like velvet on your nails. But yeah, so this one in particular, this is like a dark forest green that has like a really bright green shimmer in it, and again, it dries down to that matte finish, so it looks like you have velvet on your nails. So for me, this has always been like the ideal Slytherin color. I am a Slytherin, if you guys didn't know. I took the Pottermore quiz. I'm very proud of my Slytherin life, and I have like a lot of Slytherin gear, so it's always nice to have a matching shade. But I actually feel like all matte velvet greens are pretty Slytherin-y, so you'll see that in the other two. This one's just absolutely gorgeous, and it's always had sentimental value to me because it was like the first interesting type of finish that I had that wasn't like bumpy textured. Matte velvet, what an exciting finish. I love that they did this. And this one is a 2-coater. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I totally love it. Next up, we have another matte velvet. This is China Glaze, the Perfect Holiday, and this one's actually more of like a blue-green. Again, it has that really intense green shimmer, and again, it does dry down to that matte velvet finish, so it gives the appearance of velvet on your nails. This is another shade to me that just screams Slytherin. I think it's so cool. This is another one that for me, I think looks awesome with glossy top coat, but I usually can't resist wearing it matte because I love matte finish nail polishes, and it's just absolutely stunning. So this one's almost a 1-coater, but I do need 2 coats for full coverage. I think it's totally worth it. China Glaze is an inexpensive brand, and it's so cool that they do different types of finishes like this. And last but not least, for the matte shades, we have Sinful Colors Empire Green. So this is the lightest of the 3 that are the matte velvet finish, and this one's also the least expensive. Sinful Colors is a drugstore brand, and it's usually like $1 to $2.99. This one is like a lighter, almost like, I want to say sage green again, and this one has like a really intense silver shimmer in it that again dries down to that matte finish. This one is actually a 1-coater. So for me, what I do with 1-coaters like this is, again, I'll do 1 coat for coverage, and then I'll do another coat on top of it, like a really thin one, just to even out my brush strokes and make it look really nice. This is another one, again, just feels like such a Slytherin color. When I was actually applying this for the first time, I was wearing Slytherin pants, and it was the exact same color, so I was really excited about it. But yeah, just another absolutely stunning color. Next up, we have Zoya Merida, and this is one of my favorite green nail polishes, as they all are, obviously, but I especially love this one. It's like a deep emerald green shade that has like a really intense scattered holographic flecks in it. I absolutely love this finish that Zoya does, and they've made a few colors like this, but this green one's probably my favorite. I think it's just so perfect for like the holidays. It's so pretty for winter. It's like a really jeweled tone, so I think it's just so rich and interesting, and I love that holographic sparkle. I think it just adds another dimension to it, and I mean, you can definitely wear this any time of year. For me, this is a 2-coater, and just an amazing formula. Next up, we have the shade China Glaze Pining for Glitter. So as you might guess, this is a glitter topper. So it's like almost like a blue-green glitter, and it has like a bunch of different like sizes of hex glitters in it. You can wear this over another color. I'm showing it over black just to show you guys some of that dimensionality, or you can sponge it on if you want full coverage. The way that I wear this most often is over another green polish, just to like give it another level of green. I actually wore this on St. Patrick's Day and got a ton of compliments. This one is a little bit chunky. You definitely need top coat, but most of the time I wear top coat anyway, so that's totally fine. And I think it just looks so dimensional just with all the different like sizes in it. I think it almost looks like there's just like layers and layers, even if you just paint one layer on over like black or a dark color. So I really love this one. Next up in my favorites, we have Picture Polish Glitch. This is like a blue-green jelly that has little holographic flakes in it, and this one's actually pretty interesting because it's a jelly. The holographic little flakes actually look like they're almost like greenish gold in there, so I think that makes it pretty unique. This one's probably teetering on teal, as are the rest that I'm sharing with you in my favorites, but I didn't want to add them into like my turquoisey favorites. I think they're just a little bit too green for that, and I pretty much count these as green, so I'm just gonna keep going with it. So this one for me is a 2-coater, and again, just an absolutely amazing formula, absolutely amazing color. Next up, we have another polish from Cirque Colors. This one is called AEGAN, and this is a teal cream that has little gold flakes in it, and I think this formula is so interesting and cool. When they came out with it, they also did a purple that had the same little gold flakes in it, and I absolutely love this. I hope they come out with more. This to me surprisingly feels like such a summer color. Like, I think it's so fun and like almost tropical and interesting. I absolutely love it. It's a 2-coater, and again, absolutely amazing formula. Next up, we have Zoya Giovanna, and this is like another blue-green type of shimmer, and this for me is like a crazy holiday winter jeweled color. I absolutely love this one. I got it years and years and years ago and I was so excited. I used to wear it around Christmas time all the time and I pretty much still do, but now I have a lot more to choose from. This is another one that is 2 coats for me, and again, you might want to throw on a third just because it does show a little bit of that brush stroke. So if you want to throw on a third just to even out your brush strokes for full opacity, you can totally do that too. But yeah, just another great Zoya shade. And last but definitely not least, we have Starrily Bellatrix. So this is like a super bright, almost blue-green metallic foil shade. This one is crazy. I absolutely love it. Every time I've worn it, I've had so many people like stopping me on the streets, like, what is the nail polish that you're wearing? Like, I have to know. And I get so excited when people do that, so I love wearing this. As you would expect from a foil like this, it does give you coverage in 1 coat, but if you have long nails, you might need a second. I haven't tried it for stamping or anything, but I've used it for some brush stroke nail art, and I think it looks so cool. I don't know, it's like a really interesting and beautiful color. This is another color. I actually wore this on St. Patrick's Day this past year. Again, like I said, just people were just stopping me in the street, like, what is that nail polish? So I absolutely love this one. I think it's so stunning. I think it's perfect for nail art, and I think it's also perfect to wear on its own, even though it's kind of hard to remove, but you can just use one of my glitter removal tricks and that makes it a ton easier to remove. Alright, so that is it for my favorite green nail polishes. I would love to know what your favorites are. If we have any overlapping favorites, I would love to know if our tastes align. So let me know in the comments below what you think, what your favorites are, and I also want to know, like, what kind of greens is everybody's favorite? Because clearly I love like the dark fall winter shades, but I would love to know what kind of greens you guys like. Do you like pastels? Do you like neons? What do you like? Please tell me. Alright, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying this series. Next up, we're doing actually 2 blues. I'm gonna do like aquas and turquoises, and then I'm also gonna do like a primary blues video because I think those types of blues are like very separate and I want to keep them in separate videos. So stay tuned for that coming up next. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Alright, so fun fact, I feel like it's about time I address these little friends that I've got in the back of my video, because a lot of you guys have been asking, a lot of you guys know who they are, which I love. But yeah, so they have been there since around my birthday, which was the beginning of July, and they are Yarnies from the game Unravel 2. I have it on the Nintendo Switch and my boyfriend and I played it and we loved it. It's such a cute game, and on my birthday we like made these little Yarnies to like represent our characters because you can like customize them, and it was like such a fun and adorable activity, and it just, I don't know, I'm like so happy when I look at them. And we're actually in my bedroom right now, that's where I film. I wanted to like put them somewhere on display, but I don't really have any places besides like my drawers. So that's where they are for now. Once I have my own office, maybe I'll kind of keep them on display in my bedroom somewhere, but for right now that is where they live. And I don't know, it just always makes me happy when I'm editing and I look at them and I'm like, that was a really fun night when we made those. So yeah, those are my Yarnies. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!